got all the way around your neck and you're ready to graft those final 4 stitches on the front of your neck to the final 4 stitches on the back of your neck. Let's use the garter stitch to graft these together. I'm going to show you how. Okay, the first thing I want you to notice is that on the back of my neck, I finished working a wrong side. Okay, I worked a wrong side. Now I have the right side facing me. The reason I did that is because over here, I finished to where that's a right side, right? And so if I were to look back here, I'm looking at purl bumps. When we're doing this grafting, we want both of these to have those purl bumps as they're facing us, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the other half of my needle here, and I'm going to put all of these stitches right here, I'm going to put them on this needle. And I want the needle to face out. Let's make sure all these are on here. There we go. Okay. It's this direction. And we're ready. We're holding these just like so. And we want these purl bumps to be visible to us. Okay. So whether it's you work back so that you can have the purl bumps visible to yourself or the other way, whatever it is, you just want to make sure that these purl bumps are visible to you. Once you have that, we're going to go ahead and take our tail and thread it onto our bent tip tapestry needle so we can begin to graft these together in garter stitch. Using the yarn from your back needle, go into the first stitch on the front needle as if to purl. Then go into the first stitch on the back needle as if to purl. Now you're going to make sure your yarn is between your needles and underneath. Go into the first stitch on the front needle as if to knit and take that off. Go into the next stitch on the front needle as if to purl and leave it on. We're going to do the same thing on the back needle. When we're doing garter stitch, we do the same on both needles. So we'll go into the first stitch as if to knit on the back needle, pull it through, make sure your yarn is underneath your needles, take that off, and then go into the second stitch as if to purl and leave it on. Okay, give it a little tug underneath your needles, and we go back to the front needle in as if to knit and take it off, go into the second stitch as if to purl and leave it on, which it's the front stitch now that the other one is moved off, right? All right, go to the back needle, first stitch, go in as if to knit and take it off. I'm going to pull it all the way through here first, and then I will take it off, and then go into the next stitch as if to purl and leave it on. Whoops, there you go. Okay, make sure your yarn is underneath the needles. First stitch on the front needle as if to knit and take it off. There we go. Next stitch as if to purl and leave it on the front needle. Go to the back needle, first stitch as if to knit and take it off. Pull that through, make sure yarn is underneath those needles. Pop it off, there you go. The next stitch as if to purl and leave it on. We're at the last 2 stitches. It's really easy. We don't have any other stitch to knit or purl in, so we're going to go into this first stitch as if to knit and take it off on the front needle. And then we will go into that stitch on the back needle as if to knit and take it off. Yes, take that off, Marley. Take it off. There you go. As if to knit and take it off. Okay? And that will finish up the grafting. All we do now is use our tail and clean up anything that we don't like, but look at that, you guys. Nice garter stitch graft. We can pull those stitches together a little bit, and we have a very nice neck edge. Use your tail to clean up. How about that? What do you think? It's not too difficult, right? It's a little bit different than the Kitchener stitch, but it allows us to keep that garter stitch going, and you're going to love it. All right, let's weave in those ends, and we're going to move on to our arm edging, which is very simple because you already know how to do it. It's just picking up and knitting stitches and then knitting 3 rows and binding them off. So let's weave in our tails and we'll move on.